everyone, and welcome back to BoardGameGeek's continuing coverage from the SPIEL 2019. I am joined this time by Jorn and Joris from Splatter, and you are going to be sharing with us what's new and exciting in the Food Chain Magnate expansion, the Ketchup mechanic, and other ideas. And I'm so proud as a gamer that this expansion included a pun in its title. It's great. So, what's new and interesting in this expansion?
Well, there's a lot of things in this expansion. We made a modular expansion. There's actually 17 different modules contained in here. Some are small, some are much bigger. Mm-hmm. So we have a whole new set of milestones that just replaces the old set, but there's a couple of them spread out over there.
Okay.
Nice red and bloody bags. There's new district tiles. There's new types of food.
Yeah, we made a lot of different types of Asian food because we actually started this expansion because we had a Korean edition, so the Koreans wanted to have some Asian food in it. And then we also had a Japanese edition and a Chinese edition. So we added different types of food, sushi and kimchi and noodles, which are wanted by luxury houses or by everyone, or by you can use it as a kind of food for people who, if you don't have enough of the right type of food, you can always eat noodles.
Fair enough.
But then you only eat noodles.
You mentioned here the new milestones. You mentioned that these replace the original. Do
Yes.
a lot of the components replace parts from the original, or just add in more?
It depends. Most of the modules add in more, but so the milestones replace the old ones. So the old ones are still on the back of player. Some of the milestones add their own small milestone as well. So that's why we printed those. This a module that gives you new reserve cards. So obviously they also will replace them.
Okay. And does the expansion increase the number of potential players in the game, or does it still kept the same?
You can go up to 6 players now. So we have an extra restaurant, which is an Indonesian style restaurant, which makes the food that is there in Indonesia, siap faji, which actually is supposed to mean microwave food. So it's a bit strange for a restaurant, but we thought it was famous. So.
And so if you play with the full complement of 6 players now, how long do you estimate an average game would take with 6 players?
It's still about the same. It's about the same for 5 or 6 players. So it's not. It depends more on what happens with your prizes than really on the number of players, I think. Obviously, with 2 players, it will be much faster than with 5 or 6.
Yes.
But. Yes, and I think with many of these things, what happens is that because you add a small new thing, or in the case of the milestone, something big, you have certain thought patterns which if you played Food Chain a lot, you will have certain thought patterns which always you kind of expect certain things to happen. Mm-hmm. And now with each of the modules, something unexpected is going to happen somewhere along the line.
Okay.
You can see it coming, but you will still be surprised in the little shortcuts in your brain will say, oh, I need to do that, and then you go that way, and you go, oh no, it's no longer a good idea, because small changes actually have quite a big effect on what is useful to do in the game.
Nice. So you're going to have to kind of stop and re-strategize to work around those things.
Yeah, you at least for our Platos, it was the case that they had to think about the game again, as they did when they first got to know the game.
Nice.
Rather than just use all these shortcuts or set patterns of thought.
That's excellent to hear.
And predetermined strategies, and it actually changes again depending on which modules you do and do not include. So
that's true. Yeah. How many different modules are included in the expansion that you can mix in?
17 different ones.
17.
Yes.
Okay. So there is quite a bit more new variability that can be introduced into this game then.
Yeah, a lot.
The box weighs the same as the base game.
A little bit more even.
A little bit more, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's great. Oh, is there for someone when they get the expansion, are there a certain couple of modules that you would recommend that they try first?
Definitely. So we tried to write it in the rulebook as well, so it's just under the general rules. So first of all, don't try too many at once. Just I would personally
Unless you're very brave.
Yes, I personally recommend start with the new milestones because that already turns the game on its head.
Okay.
A lot. Secondly, then I would play with the coffee module.
Okay.
With the old or the new milestones. Because the coffee is pretty particular because coffee is not a drink, and the inspiration for coffee was really, if I may say, American society, where we always see people with styrofoam cups with coffee arriving everywhere. So we thought, like, well, when people are going out of the house to buy food, on every restaurant or coffee house along the way, they will stop and get a coffee if they can.
Oh yeah, that sounds very familiar. So the expansion and all of its nice hefty bits that it contains, is it available now? Is it coming soon? Where is it at?
We're shipping out all the pre-orders in the coming 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it's available on our website, and it will soon be, we will ship in beginning of November, we will ship to our US distributor, so then it will also be available in shops.
Excellent, that's great. So if you would like to find out more about the Food Chain Magnate's Ketchup Mechanic expansion and everything that is packed into it that you can discover to switch up your games, be sure to check out the expansion's BoardGameGeek webpage and also the SPIEL website as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me and sharing everything that's in here. And we'll have more coverage from the SPIEL for you real soon.